How's it going, YouTubers? Cornwolf here. Thank you for joining me for another video today. And today, finally, we've got some actual gameplay footage and different things to do with Project Cars. So, although you're not going to see any racing in this actual video, I'm just going to show you some of the settings that I'm using and a few things to do with the menus. And obviously, you're going to see some racing at some point over my next few videos. But I just wanted to show you this because it's an excellent game, but unless you're a hardcore racer and you're actually almost a mechanic, some of the things are a little bit insane. The menu, that video will keep playing because it's annoying, and you'll see shortly why. The menus are a little bit complicated, so don't get too disheartened straight away when you first load up the game. It becomes second nature eventually, but yeah, it's a lot to take in when you first load it up. But anyway, so you've got your main menu here. Press the right bumper. I'm using my wheel at the minute. I don't think I did a video for it, but I actually upgraded from the Spider to the TX wheel. So this is all based on the TX wheel in terms of the force feedback and things. But let's go into the options, which is just down in the bottom right hand corner there. One thing just to point out here is the actual controller becomes rendered completely obsolete when you've got the wheel plugged in. I don't know if this is something they're going to add in eventually, but unlike Forza and other games, when you've got the wheel plugged in, you can still use the controller to like navigate menus and things. There's only one time I've seen when you can actually still use the controller if you've got it plugged in or turned on or whatever. That's if you type in your name and stuff in. So that's just something just to be aware of, guys, that you have to use the wheel 100% for this. So if we go down to controls, and as you can see, we've got the picture of the TX wheel there, and you've got a few things at the bottom. So on the left here, I've got automatic clutch. So there's not enough buttons on my steering wheel to be able to set up clutch manually and let the wheel do it with the mode select, where you can map it so it does it automatically. So I've used the in-game automatic clutch at the minute. I haven't got any extra wheels or a shifter or anything yet. Gears are manual. Inverted gearing, I don't know whether that switches it from left to right or top to bottom. I don't know what the hell that does. We'll go with that for now. Then on the bottom right, underneath where it says wheel, you've got reset, calibrate wheel, calibrate pedals, and calibrate force feedback. So I'm just going to quickly show you the calibrate wheel. Now, one of the things you're going to want to note here is that I've actually set my wheel to 540. Both Stellistic and myself have been doing a few tweaks, and then we've been sharing ideas and thoughts on trying to get these down. There's a lot of settings for your wheel, and it's going to take a bit of time to get it just how you want it, so be patient with it. So like I say, 540, so that's just pressing the mode button and one hit on the left on the D-pad where it says engine start, and it'll flash 3 times, and that puts you on 540. And then what you want to do is press X to calibrate the wheel, A to start, and you want to go one way all the way around if my mic doesn't fall off the wheel. I've got my mic balanced on my wheel, and then just press A, and then what you want to do is take it back to a center position, and this bit is where you have to be very, very precise. So although you want it at 90 degrees, you want that to show 540, so you just need to, there we go, and then just press A again, and then you heard it buzz a bit then, and then that's that set up. Press A to save. The one thing you have to be a bit wary of as well, and be a bit patient of, for some reason the menu systems are very slow when you're saving various things. So left trigger is your brake pedal, so we'll press that, ask you to press start, so press A again, and then I haven't got a clutch, so throttle straight down, and then center to negative, and then same with the brake, and then just press A again. Simple as that. We'll save that. Force feedback, so accelerator pedal, and this is where you've got lots and lots of options which nobody knows what the flying fuck they're all about. So you've got various not for everything, but you've got some idea what they're about on the left. These are mainly the settings that Stellastig uses. The thing that's a little bit different and a little bit annoying here is you've got these settings which are for the overall wheel. So these are overall game settings. But then when you go into the car, you have further force feedback options, which we'll show you shortly. So, yeah, too many options. I know we like options in games and we like to be able to customise, but I do think this takes the piss just a little bit. It's good. It's a good take the piss, but slightly annoying anyway. So anyway, I'm just going to rattle through the ones on the left. It's set up for 540, so we've not got as much turning angle. Who would use 900-degree angle anyway? I don't know. I have been doing it in games, but you never use a full turn, and it seems to work a little bit better and a little bit more responsive with the 540. So we'll go from there for now. So on the left, I'm just going to go through the list, read it out to you if you're listening on YouTube, so you can still have it there. If not, you can pause it and go through them. So tyre force, we've got that set at 200. Per wheel movement is 0.35. Per wheel movement squared is 0.35. Wheel positioning smoothing is 0. Dead zone removal range is 0.15. Dead zone removal fall off is 0.09. Some of these may be default, so you might be able to go through these quite quick. I honestly can't remember which ones I've left the same. Linkage scale is 0.25. Linkage stiffness is 0.25. Linkage dampening is 1.00. Relative adjust gain is 0.98. Relative adjust bleed is 0.10. Relative adjust clamp is 0.96. Scoop knee, whatever the hell that means, is 0.70. Scoop reduction is 0.10. Soft clipping half input 0.110. Soft clipping half output is set at 0. So that's all the force feedback settings that I've set for now. Who knows? They've got descriptions on the right hand side of some of them, but I haven't got a clue. It's going to take a lot of figuring out. There may be several videos of these that myself, Stella, and your other favourite YouTube driving guys do. It's just a matter of going, oh, that's what that does. Okay, let's tweak it to this and see what happens. So once you've done that, press A, press B, and it'll save it. And then that's that. You can go to configuration. So with that's the controller scheme. Press right on the D-pad on the right bumper or gear up. As we are now, and these are my dead zones. Steering dead zone is 0, so when I turn the wheel I want it to turn straight away. Steering sensitivity, I've got it at 40. Might turn it up to 44, 45, maybe even 50. It's set at 50 standard. I can't make up my mind, but you can then tweak it for the car. So what I'm finding is I've set it at 40 on here, but on the car I might have it slightly higher, which I'll go through shortly. But that's what I've got so far. So all the dead zones for your pedals start at 0 and then go to 100%, because that's how it is. I want to be able to press the pedal all the way. So it responds instantly, but then also it will allow me to press it all the way. The braking sensitivity you can change, but then you can up the pressure on most cars. Speed sensitivity, controller filtering sensitivity, and damper saturation. I have no idea what they do, so we've left them at 0. Force feedback 100%. RPM gear display. I don't know if this is for other wheels. So if you've got a display on your wheel, or if you've got something extra plugged in, I don't know. But I don't know why that's there, but we've got that displayed. Controller input mode. Doesn't say what it does. I'd like to think this is for a controller, but the controller, like I said, doesn't do anything, so it's got to be something to do with the wheel. So I don't know if I change this, it does anything, I don't know. So I've left it where it is. I've got advanced on, and I've got soft steering dampening and visual wheel filtering on and on. Now, to be honest, these should be off. I don't know why they're on. I think it was because I was playing with something, didn't really make much difference, so I'm going to turn them back off. I've been riding with them on. I don't know. I don't really feel much different. But there we go. So press A again. If we press RB, I should save that. Right. This is the bit which is a little bit annoying. So anything you can see on this screen, you can assign to a button, which is great. However, as you can see, there are like, what we got there, 30 options, and we've got, I'll count them with you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 16 buttons on your wheel. The back two buttons, probably 18-ish, including the pedals. There's two that actually replicate themselves, so they're redundant, and there are a few buttons that replicate themselves and do the same goddamn thing, which is really annoying because you could do with them. Don't change any buttons when you first load up the game, only because if you do, it goes into a massive tiz and doesn't actually let you save it. So what you might have to do, if you do accidentally change something and it keeps telling you that you've got unassigned vital buttons, just go all the way over to the left, hit reset, do a quick calibration. It shouldn't alter your dead zones and stuff, but then just go out, just back out, and it will save it. But you have got button mappings for clutch. I haven't actually got a clutch pedal, so I can't use a button for that because A is my handbrake, but you have to have a handbrake, whatever. Ignition starts, headlights, KERS, DRS. So KERS is kinetic engine something settings, reduction settings or something like that. I can't remember. Basically, it's on F1 cars, and it's the electric like hybrid engine that they can press a button for, and it gives them more horsepower. I can't remember exactly what it's called. DRS is dramatic reduction system. So that's when the wing at the back opens up, gives them a bit of a boost there, like boosting buttons kind of. Assistance, we wouldn't have a button for them anyway because we don't turn them on. It would be nice to be able to put the pit stop request buttons and brake bias things maybe in. Definitely would like one for a clutch button just to try that out, and a DRS one. And then you've got your camera views, and then obviously your game buttons over there. So that's that. We'll see what happens. So anyway, you press B from there and it'll save it, and you'll see the little thing in the bottom right corner. Sometimes that can take forever. Trust me, bear with it, it'll do it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into a game. We'll switch to a car setup, and I shall see you in there. So here we are in the pit box. I'm not going to run through lots of things with you here. We're at Donington, why not? Start at my local track. So if you go down to tuning setup, press A, and you're going to see that there's lots of options on the left. Ignore them for now. This isn't a tuning video, it's a controller setup video. So we press the right bumper and we've got force feedback yet again. And every car has its own setup, and you can save it, but I don't know if it saves it every time, or you have to go in and check it, so it's worth checking every time. And I don't even know if you can, how you load them up for it and different things. I'm still working a lot of it out. Anyway, so on the left, you've got your settings, your spindle, your scale, and different things like that, and smoothing. You can change all of this. The main one I change is the master scale, and I normally have this somewhere between, starts at 30, so I normally have it somewhere between 30 and 40. Now I've been going a little bit higher, possible. Ignore that. I've been going a little bit higher than perhaps what Stella's been doing, just because I like it a little bit more responsive, but it depends on the car as well. So some cars start quite low and go up, but it just depends on you. So basically the master scale is how much the car will force feedback itself when you're hitting the curbs and things. So if you're driving along quite happily, but you're not getting a lot of force feedback, come back into the pits, up that little bit, and just see how you get on. I like it quite high. I like the feel, but then there are some cars where I thought my wheel's going to get ripped off my stand because it was bouncing all over the place on one of the tracks on one of the cars. So it probably needed tweaking down a little bit. Again, it's personal preference. That's the one thing to remember with a lot of these videos here. personal preference. It's what works for you and how it all works for yourself. There are going to be some settings that are going to be either the same stock, or that it's almost a, you need these settings else it's not going to work properly. A little bit like the dead zones. If you don't have your dead zone set up right, it might not work as well as other people. If you're turning the wheel you know, almost halfway round before it actually does anything, then you need to change your dead zones. But that's that. And then obviously once you've done that, you press A and it saves it, and you're back to the tuning setup. Your cards a little wiggle, and we're good to go. So basically that's the settings for you guys. I hope you've learned something from this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Like I say, myself and Stella have pretty much got exactly the same setup at the minute. He's got a video, I'll link to that below. I haven't done a controller setup yet, but quite a few guys have, and I will perhaps just speak to them and whatnot, and see how we get on with it, and probably do a video for them for that as well. And I'll until next time guys, I shall see you all soon.